In order for two arcs to be considered congruent, there's two things we have to check for. First, they have to be in circles that have the same radius, either come from the same circle or have two circles that are the same size, meaning the radii are the same. And also they have to have the same angle. The central angle that forms them needs to be the same so that those arcs are the same. So let's check for those two things. So first up, we're checking to see if the red arcs shown are congruent or not. First thing to check for is, do they come from the same circle, or do the two circles have the same radius? And that's yes in this first example. They're in the same circle. The second thing we have to check for is whether our arcs are the same. Because the central angle is both 80, that means my arcs are also both 80 degrees. And so are those two arcs congruent? Yes, they definitely are, because they meet both parts of my criteria. So for my explanation, I could write that out, or I'm going to be lazy and just say, look, that was true and that was true. Both parts were true. In the next example, the one that looks kind of like a bullseye, I need to see whether both circles are the same size and whether the arcs are the same. I can see the arcs are the same measure. They both are 90 degrees. However, very clearly, those are not the same size circle. And so no, those arcs are not considered congruent. Even though they're both 90 degrees, they are not from the same size circle. They're not the same size arc. Okay, and then lastly, we have two different circles. I can see that those circles are the same size because their radius is the same. Those tick marks tell me that. And also because both central angles are 95 degrees, that means both arcs are 95 degrees. Because this, again, meets both parts of our definition, the same size radius and the same size angle, those two arcs are considered congruent to each other.